so go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, a couple of things that we can get to know you with.
So my name is Dr. Colleen Calzacorta. I earned a bachelor's in molecular and cell biology from Boise State University in Boise, Idaho. I then went on to obtain a PhD in immunology from the University of Washington. From there, I went to work for the CDC working on vaccines, and currently we're attempting to develop a universal vaccine for influenza. Universal meaning that you would only have to get it once, not every year.
So, Dr. Calzacorta, the current flu vaccine doesn't seem to be working very well. Would you recommend getting the current flu vaccine, and why or why not?
I would recommend getting the current flu vaccine. How flu vaccines are made is they look at the previous year's data and they select 3 strains that they think will be most likely to be common in the population for that year. So some years the predictions are very accurate and other years they're not very accurate. And this is an example of a year that's not super accurate, but it still is relatively effective and it will shorten the duration of your symptoms and in some cases will prevent you from getting the disease.
So, are vaccines generally safe? Isn't there evidence that kids can get autism from vaccines?
So vaccines are generally safe. So before a vaccine will be released to the public, significant amount of testing is completed to determine the timing and dosage of each vaccine and any certain adverse reactions. And these are well documented, and your physician will ask you a series of questions to delineate any risks you have for that particular vaccine. Now, a common misconception is that vaccines cause autism. There have only been 2 articles that have ever defined that link, and both have been retracted because the researchers falsified their data. And in response to those studies, several other follow-up studies have been done which have shown no link between autism and vaccination.
Now, isn't one of the reasons that we get a flu shot every year because pharmaceutical companies want to make more money that way?
No. So the flu vaccine is very unique in that the flu itself actually changes each year. So we have proteins on the surface of the flu and they actually change each year as the organism evolves. And because of that, we have to develop new vaccines each year to try and target those new surface proteins. And that's why we have to get a new vaccine each year. Pharmaceutical companies, that's a misconception.
So now, would you say that there's any reasons some individuals shouldn't get vaccinated?
So there are certain conditions which we call contraindication, which means you should not get vaccinated, and those are which cause severe adverse reactions. So if you are allergic to some component in the vaccine, you should not get that vaccine, or they do offer different versions of each vaccine. Also, if you're immunocompromised, such as have an autoimmune disease, such as HIV or pregnancy actually counts as an immunocompromise, then you shouldn't get certain vaccines, but vaccines such as the flu, you should still get each year as they have modified them to be safe for such individuals.
Okay, last question. What can individuals do every day to stay protected from the flu?
Well, the number one thing we can always do is get vaccinated, and in the case of flu, that's every year you should go get a flu shot. But in addition, there's just general universal precautions such as washing your hands, and if you know someone is sick, trying to limit contact with that person, as well as taking vitamins or supplements to boost your immune response at that time.
All right, well, this has been really revealing for a lot of different things that there were misconceptions on, and I really appreciate all your time. Thank you so much, Dr. Calzacorta.
Thank you.